Hello, hello, hello. Happy Monday. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for joining me for a little video, and we're going to be looking at tight shoulders when your arms are up and overhead, which is something we spoke about a couple of weeks ago. And I wanted to give you a little bit more information and give you another few exercises to try if this is something that you are experiencing. Before I go ahead and do that though, please do give me a little thumbs up if you're watching on Facebook, or give me a little heart to let me know you're out there. And if you've got any questions, please do drop them in the comments. I will keep an eye out for them. And if you're watching this on catch up as well, you can also ask questions and make sure you tag me in them so I can be sure to see them and come back to you. So let's talk today about the latissimus dorsi muscles here and how they could be contributing to tight shoulders or possibly a rounded forward posture like this. Same thing as what we spoke about a few weeks ago. We were talking about the pectoral muscles in the front of the body and how when we're sitting at our desk a lot, or maybe driving a lot, or maybe doing both, they can become stuck short. So we get this feeling of tightness. They're just not working very well and they get stuck in this kind of shorter position, which means that when we try to lift our arms overhead, then there's just not that room to move. So same thing here with the latissimus. It's a massive muscle that comes down the back of the body and connects your pelvis to your spine to your shoulders, but it actually inserts like right underneath your arm here, and also has the same thing. If it's stuck short, if it's tight in inverted commas, this means that we're going to struggle to get the arms up overhead. And this could be when you're dancing, particularly perhaps if you're a FatChance style dancer or a Datura style dancer. We're up here a lot, right? And it might feel like a little bit uncomfortable, or you might even feel some discomfort in your upper back as well. Even if it's something as simple as just being able to reach for something on a high shelf, it might be challenging for you. And if you're experiencing that discomfort in the upper back, it may be because your upper spine is compensating for that. You're getting the movement actually by lifting the rib cage and extending into the spine, which is, a fine movement to do it on its own. But if you're there for a long period of time, it might not be ideal for you. So as before, I'm going to give you a few quick exercises just to help you identify if you might be experiencing tightness and what you can do about it. So first of all, I would really recommend checking to see what your current mobility is like. And you can lie on the floor, you can do this against a wall, and you really want to press the low back into the floor. And you're just going to maybe test one arm at a time. Just take the arm overhead and you want to see how far back you can get it, and really make sure that the rib cage doesn't flare open like this to compensate. So keeping the rib cage down, and can you move the arm all the way back without feeling any discomfort or without it really feeling tight or pulling. So once you've checked your current range with both arms, the next thing I'm going to suggest is a muscle energy technique, which I love. And the muscle energy technique for the lats we can do again lying on the floor, or you could also do this against a wall. And arms down by the side, and you're just going to press your upper arms into the floor. And if you've done these muscle energy techniques, you'll know that we're going to do just a small 20% contraction and hold it for about 20 seconds. And I'm doing both arms at the same time with this one, which I really love when you get these nice efficient ones that you can do both sides at the same time. And you should hopefully feel a contraction in the upper back, just a really small one. And release. So I'm going to come up to sitting. I'd like you to do that 4 times. I'm not going to go through them all in this video because I'd like to move on to some other things and keep the video short. But after watching the video, do make sure, or you can press pause if you're watching this on catch up, make sure you do this 4 times and see if that helps to release the lats and give you a little bit more range of movement. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to strengthen one of the antagonist muscles, one of the opposing muscles, the deltoids in the shoulders, using a resistance band. If you don't have a resistance band, you can always use like some cans of beans or some other hand weights you have. And we're just going to do some lateral raises. So for the moment, I'm going to place it under my knees, but you could do it standing. We're just lifting the arms up to the sides to create strength in the shoulders, and it's going to help to release the latissimus as well. And you're also going to get the added benefit of strengthening the shoulders for our arm undulations and other arm work in our dance practice. So I would recommend doing about 10 to 15 of those. If you can do 2 sets, then go for it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to strengthen the lats themselves, because what we want to do is we want to make sure that once we've given them that little bit of extra release and lengthening, we don't want them to go back to how they were before. So we're going to strengthen them in that lengthened position by doing the opposite thing. Now, this is something really challenging to do when you're at home. But if you have a door that you can hang your resistance band onto and pull down, then that's great. In the absence of that, you can just pull apart. So you're doing this pulling down motion with the arms. And if you need to increase the challenge, you can bring the hands a little bit closer together. And same thing here, going for about 10 to 15 reps. And if you can do 2 sets or even 3 sets, you'll really feel the benefit. So then my next tip, as always, is a little bit of roll and release. So you'll want to grab your tennis ball or foam roller. Foam rollers are really good for this one, actually, because the lats are such a big muscle. But tennis ball's good too if you don't have one of those. And you're just going to want to get onto the side and kind of onto the side of the body, but towards the back of the side, and just kind of roll around a little bit just until you find a tender spot, and then just hold it there for about 10 seconds and breathe. And just as you're breathing, the tenderness should hopefully release a little bit. And then just find another spot. Armpit often could be a juicy spot to release the lats. And again, just hold it there and breathe through it. Don't need to spend hours doing this. Find 2 or 3 spots and just like hold it in that place and just breathe through, and then obviously switch to the other side. So that's 4 ways to release and strengthen your latissimus. Please do double check, lie on the floor again after you've done these exercises, possibly in between each exercise, to see if you get a little bit more range of motion as well. And one final exercise I'm going to show you as well. If you're experiencing that discomfort in the upper back, I recommend strengthening a little bit the upper abdominals, just to really help to keep the rib cage closed and down and stop getting this compensation happening. So you can do a very simple exercise on your back. I recommend actually putting one hand underneath your low back so that you can get a little bit of feedback, other hand up behind the head, and then just using your upper abdominals, really small lift of the upper body off the floor and releasing down. And again, if you can go for about 10 to 15 of those on each side, building up to them. If you're not feeling very strong there, you can start off with less if necessary. And that's going to help really to stabilize the torso and hopefully reduce any discomfort in the upper back from overextending too much. So that was a lot of information. If you've got any questions, please do let me know. Give me a thumbs up or a little heart. I can see some hearts popping up on Facebook, so thank you if you've been watching. And yeah, if you're watching this on catch up, tag me. If you are not on my mailing list, you'll still have access to the Amazing Arms mini course, which I put out recently. So jump on my mailing list if you haven't done so already and you're interested in that. And in a few weeks' time, I am going to be relaunching my Amazing Arms and Strong Shoulders program, which was my first program that came out 2 years ago. And it's been fully updated with all of the work I've been doing with Biomechanics Education. It's really revamped and fabulous and new. And up until now, only my regular clients have had access to this. So it's going to be coming out in the end of the month. And my mailing list people are going to have an early bird access and early bird pricing. So another reason to get on my mailing list if you're not already. Phew, that is enough for me today. I think I haven't seen any questions come through. Apologies if you've popped a question in and I've missed it, but I will come back to it for sure. If you haven't already, give me a thumbs up, give me a little heart. Please do share this with your friends, and I will see you next time. Big love. Mwah.